Good evening, gents.
What's up? What's
What
up?
it do? What it do?
Back with another episode of DMV Boyz. How you doing?
Good, good, good.
Just
And
another Tuesday night.
Just another Tuesday night.
it's a
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I hear
little
you,
more
but
sports happening. A little more sports
oh,
happening.
it's been a wild past 7 days with sports.
Yes, sir.
A super wild 7 days. And I got some things that I definitely gotta hear y'all opinion on. I know one thing that's gonna make Phil and most likely Dante have a fit once we bring it up. But hey, I want to first talk about this NFL wide receiver drama going on, man. I know wide receivers are divas. I
Yeah.
get it. But this has gotten to another level. Brandon Ayuk has been involved in a trade, it seems like, every 3 hours with a different team. And at first, he said that, all right, they're going to get traded to the Patriots. And it turns out that the Patriots offered him $32 million a year, but he didn't want to stay but 1 year, and he also didn't like their quarterback situation. So then Brandon says, well, all right, trade me to the Steelers. Then the Steelers are like, well, we're not trying to give up the whole farm for you. Then their division rival, the Browns, step in and offer up Amari Cooper and picks. Is it me or is Brandon Ayuk worth all this talk? Is he really worth this?
At some point, I think the age is getting in the way. Because how you look at 32 billion in the face of like, I need more than that. Which would have made him what, the third highest paid wide receiver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you say no because I don't care who was throwing me the ball as a quarterback. I'm gone. Sign me up. 32 million. Why sign? That's crazy.
Okay,
What?
you're saying that, but I don't know who also took that kind of deal. Devontae Adams, and look at him right now. He's stuck in the Raiders because he took the money, and now he got Joe the Plumber throwing him the football.
Well, Ayuk is. I just think he doing it for a leverage thing. I think he want to stay with San Francisco. Because again, he want the money, but look around at the situations that he was going to. Again, Patriots ain't going nowhere. Browns, they got a problem with. I mean, they don't know what they're getting with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, the
The
Browns.
Steelers got a 2 quarterback head thing going on. They don't know what they doing with their quarterback down in Pittsburgh. And you in San Francisco where perennially you plan for championships every single year with that kind of talent around you. So ultimately he want to be in San Francisco. I just think San Francisco not willing to pay him more than Debo. At this point, I just don't think that they don't want to pay him more than Debo. And then again, you got Kittle who had to get paid. You got McCaffrey who had to get paid. You just paid Nick Bosa. So I think they want to keep him, but they want to keep him probably lower than what he asking for. I think he want to stay with them.
Where is he going to go where he's getting what he's getting, quarterback wise, coach wise, team wise? You're going to the Super Bowl. You're contending. If that's his measure, he might as well just say, "All right, pay me the 17 or whatever they offered him, and I stay." But I thought he was trying to get paid. These teams are trying to pay him. These three teams are trying to pay him, and he don't want it. You're not the ideal situation to go to.
I understand, but he could also be trying to find a team that wants to pay him, but it's also in contention to win the next 2 years. Let's be honest, the Patriots, that ain't Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. They're talking about possibly not even playing Drake May. They're talking about playing Joe Milton at quarterback. So, and they just cut Juju Schuster, so that means he would be the man, and I think that would be a lot for him to take on. And then if you want him to go to the Browns, okay, the Browns is a better fit, but they still iffy with the quarterback, like Dante was saying. You don't know what the hell going on with them. And then the Steelers, I think he want to go play with his father out there in Pittsburgh. I think him and his dad want to play together. So, he can go out there. But $32 million, I'm not sure the 49ers can afford that, to pay you $32 million. He may be asking for a little too much, because I don't think you're going to get $32 million and be on a contender. He may have to, like Dante says, get a little $17 million, stay with a contender. But it's all about what he wants more, and also what a team is willing to give up. I'm not giving nobody a Ricky Williams trade for Brandon Ayuk. He ain't that dude.
Well, if you look at it, he want to get paid basically like he's a number one receiver, like a number one option.
And that was
And
just
you're not the number one option on that team. On that team that you on, you're not the number one option. First of all. Secondly, to be honest with you, San Francisco, the package that they want back from him, saying that they treating him like a number one. Like they was talking about like 2 first-round picks or something. So he thinking, wait a minute, so you want 2 first-round picks from me, which makes me seem like, you know, you want back in return what you would get for a number one receiver, but yet you don't want to pay me as a number one receiver. So it's kind of like it don't match up. Like what they want and what he want don't really match up. And you ever notice that the 3 teams that he wanted to go to, they all AFC teams?
Mm-hmm.
49ers are not trading him to the NFC.
Yeah.
They are not putting him in the NFC. If you want to play somewhere else, you go play out there. It's one of them AFC teams. And whatever team he go in the AFC is a way tougher way to get to the Super Bowl than it is the NFC.
Yeah.
So again, if your ultimate goal is to play in Super Bowls and winning and stuff like that, the easiest path is to stay in San Francisco.
But I think everybody at some point comes up on that. Well, all the good players come up on that. Do I want to get paid? Do I want to compete? Sometimes you have to pick one, and he's probably in that position. He can get paid because they offered him $32 million. But do I want to compete? He's never going to go nowhere and find what he has. There's only one San Francisco. Kansas City's not knocking at the door. You know, does Buffalo need a wide receiver? They're not knocking at the doors. The Bengals ain't knocking at the door. You're in your ideal spot if you want to contend for Super Bowls. If you want to get paid, you would have signed that deal.
But I think for him, because he's like 25, so he young, and it's really the first time he going, his first time his contract coming up.
Yeah.
He probably gonna chase money first. Again, he probably gonna chase money and think, hey, I can come back in a couple of years on my next deal, and now look for a team that's contending for a Super Bowl. But I think, like I said, I think you got everything you need in San Francisco. Are they gonna pay you $32 million? Probably not. Are they gonna pay you the $17 million that you wanted? That you like? I think he planned on like $17 million this year. Probably not. You need an upgrade. So I think it's somewhere in the middle that they're gonna meet. Maybe like 26 million, 27 million, or something like that. And you be happy. Now you got the both of both worlds. You might have to give up $5 million, but do you want to give up $5 million and actually play for Super Bowls?
But what makes him think he's worth $32 million?
That's what I wanted to ask you all. I wanted y'all to put on your GM hat, and I want to ask you: Is he worth $32 million?
He's not.
And some draft picks.
Again,
nobody's getting jerseys of Brandon Ayuk.
Listen,
He's
man.
not putting no bodies in the seat.
Listen,
man. I don't know. Do you anybody? Y'all know anybody with a Brandon Ayuk jersey?
Listen, man. I learned a long time ago that none of these dudes are worth what you actually paying them. You know what I'm saying? You are, what they say all the time is you worth what the market say you worth. You know what I'm saying? And because a lot of these dudes, when it's next man up, they just become the highest paid whatever. Again, you don't really deserve it. Your stats don't really say it, and his definitely don't. But I mean, he the next man up. So whether he worth it or not is not for me to say. That's for the market to say.
Man, see, and that's what I wanted to touch on later on in my little 2
Is
minutes.
Deshaun worth $230-something million guaranteed?
At this point, yes. When you look at and you see who else got the contracts, I mean, yeah.
I'm talking about when he got paid.
Was he worth
$231?
When he got paid, I was gonna call the IRS and report fraud.
But paid off of what he could have be, what he could be.
Yeah, the potential.
He was balling before he was getting the massages, and then he came. He was balling, but now. And here's my thing with all that type of stuff, right? When you take certain things out of your life, just like Tiger Woods when he stopped running through the youngins, he can't play golf no more. If he was to go back to being a hoe, Tiger Woods will be winning championships. Same thing with Watson. Go back to getting your massages, he's throwing touchdowns.
Look. And a casualty of this whole Brandon Ayuk thing is Amari Cooper, somebody who I think is one of the most disrespected wide receivers in the NFL.
Man,
they openly tried to trade this man, but his clapback was something nice. He went on Instagram and said, and I quote, laughing out loud, I wouldn't mind it at all.
Would you rather go play for the Browns or would you want to play for the 49ers? Exactly. You want to play for Kyle Shanahan or you want to play for Kevin Stefanski? I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? He like, yeah, bring it. I go out there. You want to be in San Francisco where the weather kind of nice, or you want to be in Cleveland where it's shitty all year long? Come on, man. From his standpoint, he like, yeah, man, I'm good.
Yeah, I ain't never heard nobody say they want a vacation in Cleveland ever.
Nah,
No.
ever.
No.
People in Cleveland don't want to be there. So,
And if you're Amari right now, what you have to be like, man, this is some bull. I got to get out of here. Like, I think anytime a player it gets offered up for a trade and a trade falls through, now you got to get me out of there. You got because I'm running my own routes on the field, brother. I'm wearing mismatched uniforms, brother. I'm doing
wearing away jerseys at home.
Oh yeah, I'm telling Deshaun Watson, I'm running a deep go route every play. I ain't blocking for nobody.
Oh man,
you can't carry it like that. That's the game. That's the game. So I don't mind when these players sit out and try to hold out for their money because in a second you could be gone. They could trade you anytime. So sit out, wait for your money. But at sometimes you got to sit back and be like, these people really gonna pay me to be the third highest wide receiver, and then you got the nerve to turn it down? Come on, you're not. He's not that caliber player.
I know, but look at Cooper. So when he was with the Oakland Raiders, they disrespected him, and traded him, over to Dallas. Dallas, he went and balled out. I thought he was going to be a Cowboy for life. Dallas disrespected him. Now he's in Cleveland. Cleveland pretty much just offered him up for, like I said, Mike Tomlin's son, and so he got to be like, damn, bro, they disrespected me 3 times. That would make me a savage, man. It would make me some kind of way.
But they paying dude though. It's not like they put him on the chopping block when it's time for a trade when a trade comes up. But they open the bag for him. They gave it. Look, man, they give him the bag.
Broke dudes like us, we want the bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you got work every day in your life like we do, you want the bag. But them dudes, they want the bag, but at the same time, they want respect. And they want, you know what I'm saying? They want to be, again, they, like you say, especially wide receiver, they divas, man.
Man, respect me.
They divas at the Hey, I say it all the time, Slim. If you can pay me whatever, you know what I'm saying? I go clean the janitor's room if you want me to. Just don't mess with my money.
Just don't mess with my money. That's exactly.
All right.
I don't care.
And some more wide receiver drama. I know this one going to hit home for y'all. Jerry Jones was quoted as saying,
can we save Jerry Jones to the end, man? It's too early for Jerry, man. Come on, I can't take it.
This is our final part of talking about wide receiver drama. He was asked by the press, because the Cowboys have a lot of contracts coming up soon that they need to renew and extend or whatever. They asked him, what about CeeDee Lamb's contract? He said there is no urgency at all. How does that make you feel as the 2 resident Dallas Cowboy fans here? Huh?
You want to go first?
Is that how it feels to be all in?
Listen, man.
You sound defeated.
I don't even know how to start this, man. I'm going to just start with Jerry's senile as hell, man. I'm going to start with that. That dude's senile, man. You ever seen a car salesman that can sell you anything, but he not really selling you nothing? That's what Jerry is. If you got a bridge and you want to sell it, get Jerry. He'll sell it to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a salesman, man. At the end of the year, these dudes saying we going all in to win next year. The new league year come around, you didn't sign no high-level free agents and free agents. Not only did you not sign no high-level free agencies, you don't even sign the players that you actually need to sign to be, to kind of be reputable. Dak need to get paid. CD need to get paid. Micah needs to get paid. And what I don't understand about Jerry, to me, Jerry is living in an old NFL way of doing things. You pay players. He had a chance to pay CD Lamb way before Justin Jefferson got paid, way before them two wide receivers in Philly got paid. It would have cost you way less money to actually keep these dudes, to keep him, than now. You got to pay him top of the market money now. So it's cost you $5 or $6 million extra a year because you wanted to wait. If you look at it, man, every year there's a Cowboy that has to hold out. Emmitt Smith,
DeMarcus Lawrence held out.
DeMarcus Lawrence, the what's the guard name? Zach Martin,
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott.
And
Every
we set the
year,
market. We set the market with what we pay him.
yeah, every year it's like this with this dude, man. He's living in an old NFL regime, whereas it used to be we gonna hold you out. We gonna, you know what I'm saying, it's our way or the highway type of thing. You can hold out, do whatever you want to do. You ended up paying these dudes. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you didn't end up paying them or let them walk or whatever. So what point were you trying to make by not getting the contracts done early? And I just think that he just in an old mind frame. And like I said, he see now, man, I be listening to him. I be like, man, what are you talking about? Like, what are you even saying? Like, he could say 4 or 5 sentences and you be like, what? Huh? Come on, man.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what Jerry Jones does. And this is across the board. He sells hope. He gives you just enough to hold on to. Every year, get excited about something, and he keeps the drama going. There's no reason why he hasn't paid CeeDee Lamb yet. There's not one reason. The dude was the number 1 wide receiver in the league. He's holding out. You know you're going to pay him. But what's going to get Jerry Jones' face in the news? What's going to get him on the podcast that he's on? What's going to get him on ESPN? Well, let me make a controversial statement like, oh, but ain't no rush to get CeeDee Lamb in here. We're not tripping. What? But you all in? But he
And the
does
contract
it
is
every
easy.
year. He does it.
The contract is easy to do. It's one of the easiest contracts to do because, like I said, it's easy. That money is an easy contract to make. And I always say, what other owner? You got 31 other owners. What other owner do you know after a loss and they go down to the locker room? The first person that's talking is Jerry. The coach ain't talking. The players ain't talking. They put a mic in Jerry's face first after every single game.
He's clickbait.
Because they
Ultimate
know.
clickbait.
They be like, man,
Ultimate clickbait.
screw these players. Let's find Jerry. He gonna give us something, man.
Yeah.
He gonna give us something to talk about.
So would you all have a bit more? I'm guessing you all would have a bit more urgency to sign CD to an extension.
He would have already been signed. He would have got signed before all of those up, before Justin Jefferson got paid, before like I said, Antonio. I mean, what's the wide receiver? Brown in Philadelphia, Devontae Freeman and Devontae Smith. All of them before Tyreek Hill, before all of them dudes got paid. That contract was what Dak could have got paid, could have got done at the end of the year last year or the beginning of the training camp. That deal should have been done. But like I said, all of these guys have signed now. So now he gonna want to reset the market. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you still got Jamar Chase out there who's they say he not get paid. If they want to do a contract with him and he get paid more than Justin Jefferson, then all of a sudden now you got to pay him more than him. So it's listen, man. The price today ain't the price what it was yesterday. So
I'm gonna input that sound bite too.
I say that all the time, man. The price today ain't the price that it was yesterday. So get it done, man. It ain't like again, the Dak situation, I can understand it. You know what I'm saying? CD is a no-brainer to me. Micah is a no-brainer to me.
I agree.
The Dak may be like, okay, wait a minute. We done paid you several contracts and we still 12-4 a year. We still in the same place after every season, 12-4, and we go out in the first or second round. You know what I'm saying? Do we really want to throw another bag of money at you when, do we want to just reset that, do something else? All right, if you Jerry, I understand that. You might not be getting your money's worth out of that one, but CD to me is a no-brainer.
Yeah, if I'm looking at the Dak contract, I would bring that dude to my office and say, listen, show me your staple win. Show me where you went out there and you balled out from beginning to end and we got the W. And they had to have a winning record or it had to be in the playoffs. If not, you take this $35 million, and you go out there and you prove yourself. Mm-hmm. But I'm not locking my team up paying you $65 million because you're the next man up. I'm not doing it. But that's for my segment later on. I ain't gonna.
So
Well, again, the reason he doing that is because he's so scared that without a quarterback, the Cowboys not gonna be relevant. You know what I'm saying? And that's
You
all
could
he want. He just want them to be relevant.
no. The Cowboys gonna be relevant whether they good or bad.
I know
yeah,
that. You know
yeah,
that. Again,
Yeah.
they was just estimated at over 10 billion. I know
yeah.
that and you know that. But what Jerry tell you? The main thing that I want before I die is I want another Super Bowl. And if you reset at the quarterback position, he's further away from a Super Bowl now.
This dude ain't doing nothing but lining his coffin with more money.
So I'm actually in order of importance with signing. There's Dak, there's Micah and CD. Put them in order for me. Well, most important to least important. As Cowboy fans,
For
Me,
me, go ahead.
go ahead.
Nah, for me is CD first, Micah second, Dak third. I'm paying CD now. I'm going to pay Micah at some point during this year. Before the year is up, I'm going to get that contract done for next year before or everybody else get in line. I'm going to get that deal done next. Dak, look, I mean, you go either going to renegotiate, like Phil said, and pay for this 35 to 40 million or whatever right now, or if you don't want to take that, you're going to play on the last year of your deal at 50, whatever, 50 with something million. And if you ball like hell this year, all right, we'll pay you next year. But if you don't, and we 12-4 again, and we go in the first or second round,
What you
all right,
losing?
man, go in free agency, do something
Yeah,
else, man.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can get
You
paid then.
yeah, it just didn't work out for us. I mean, we're
Yeah.
not saying you're not good.
No,
We're not saying that you're not a
I'm saying,
top 10 type of quarterback,
I'm
top 15.
saying,
But again, you ain't do it for us. You ain't get it done. How many times you see people go other places and they ball to the point? Again, I'll say the same thing with that Tampa Bay team. They got to again under Tony Dungy. They was perennial Super Bowl every year, and then they had Tony Dungy to come. I mean, what's his name?
Chucky.
Chucky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had Chucky come in there, and it was a different voice. Something clicked, whatever, and they had a magical year, and they won a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But it was basically the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But how often do a quarterback go to another team and succeed? Minus Brady, can't put him in this. But how often do you see a quarterback go somewhere else and they actually succeed? It don't happen as often as you think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Montana, I
you
mean, that was
you, you
early
know why it
90s
don't
when he went to Kansas City.
you know why it don't happen?
No.
Because most teams don't let their franchise player get the free agency.
Oh,
That's why.
please.
Name me a top level, top 10, 15-ish type of player that got to quote unquote real free agency. Like to the point where I can sign wherever I want to sign. I ain't got no leash from you. I ain't got no nothing. Quarterbacks don't make it to the market like that. Only the Cowboys would have this situation.
But they're not sure about it. So why would you let them hit the market?
And I'm with
If you're
you.
sure about a quarterback, you're signing him. He's not even right. We're not even having this discussion right now if we were comfortable with that. He's had 9 years of nothing. 9 years of nothing. We had
I,
good.
I I wouldn't say nothing.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't say
He had
nothing.
he had 9 years of stats, of great stats, from playing from behind, from playing bad teams. But when it was crunch time, he folds. This is mo. The same shit that he was doing on his draft on his draft card is the same shit he's doing now. He don't lead receivers. He's over under. The deep ball is inconsistent. It's the same thing. He hasn't gotten any better. He's reached his peak, and that's what you get.
What's the common denominator on the Cowboys team right now? You
That
done changed out everybody on the defense.
Dakota.
You got a whole new offense. You done had a whole new coaching staff for several years. The only stay on that team that's been consistent is who?
Dakota.
That's it. So
Dakota
at some
Prescott.
point it's time to change it. At some point it's time to change him out too.
Okay, Cowboy fan. I need y'all. Let's woosah as we
Okay.
get to the next segment here.
Man, you should
Go
have
ahead,
saved that to
woosah.
last,
Yeah, you
man. My
probably
blood,
should.
my,
So,
blo- my
Right.
blood pressure too high
So-
now, man.
the NFL recently completed the top 100 list. And this list is always controversial, man. I've seen people at work, I've seen people on the train arguing about it because the list, it never matches what it's in reality to most people. So I'm just gonna go over the top 5. Number 5, Myles Garrett. Number 4, Patrick Mahomes. Number 3, Christian McCaffrey. Number 2, Lamar Jackson. And number 1, Tyreek Hill. What y'all think about that one? That's not your usual
So
top
what's
5.
this list based on?
Yeah,
I mean, is there any kind of basis for this list?
Players, coaches, and the press all vote on it. And it's like, who is the most impactful player coming into this upcoming season, and also what they did last season. So that's how they came up with Garrett, Mahomes, McCaffrey, Lamar Jackson, Tyreek Hill. I'm judging by your faces. You wouldn't even had it anywhere close to that. To me, Mahomes is always number 1. He's always number 1.
How do you
no matter, even if they don't win the Super Bowl, he's number 1. I think he impacts the game that much. Tyreek Hill is number 1. I wouldn't put him in my top 10. I wouldn't put him in my top 10.
Yeah.
But Mahomes is 1. Now, when we go from 2 on back, that's a different story. But not seeing Patrick Mahomes as number 1, he's number 4. And McCaffrey, Lamar Jackson, and Tyreek Hill, 3 people he beat last year, are all ahead of him. But what y'all think, man?
And, McCaffrey, you could put him high because he had an MVP type season. And he's always in that space where, he can give you 2-3 touchdowns a game. The game plans fits him. He's a Kyle Shanahan prototype. I mean, he's that guy that Shanahan looks for, and he excels in it. Jackson,
listen,
2?
Man.
No.
When I hear that list, that's why I asked you at the beginning, what are they basing it on? When I hear that list, I hear like, okay, if I'm lined up against you, who scares me the most when I'm going up against you? And if you put it that way, not who the best player, but who scares. Like when I line up against you, when I got a game plan for something, which one of these dudes scares me the most? And if you put it that way, it may not be a bad list. May not be. Because Tyreek Hill, with that speed, you have to really game plan for him. He basically is going to take 2 to 3 players out of your defense every game. So you're basically playing our man when it comes to him. Christian McCaffrey, same type of thing. Because he's so dual threat, he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can do sweeps. He could do, flea flick. He could do so many different things that the game plan for him, like, you have to really game plan for him. Lamar Jackson, same thing. I mean, he do so many different things with his legs, with the RPO stuff. He not doing too much in the pass game. But again, coming into the game, when you doing a defensive thing, what's the first thing you say? Oh, we got to contain Lamar. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing to come out of people's mouth. And same thing again. Patrick Mahomes, I think he's not on the list as much because, again, game planning for him, he does things that's unorthodox and off script, but basically you know where he's gonna be at. I mean, he's gonna stand back there and he's just gonna pick you apart. I mean, he's gonna pick you apart throwing the ball. I mean, that's just what it is. So it's not really I don't know if you really game plan for him. Like when I go in, I think you might on that team, you might try to take Kelsey out before you actually try to take Mahomes out.
But if you don't contain Mahomes, Kelsey ain't getting the. It never fails that when that dude is in trouble, he's going to Kelsey.
He's throwing 87.
But he always makes it happen. The Buffalo had them on the ropes last 2 years, and the one was 17 seconds or whatever he left on the clock. Well, 2 years ago, 17 seconds, and he just hold my.
So let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. To me, 4 out of 5 people on that list, I would legitimately say when I look at them, I would say they game records. I don't consider Mahomes a game record.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? I consider all of them other dudes can wreck the game.
Mm.
And multiple, even Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett can wreck a game from the defensive side of the ball.
You don't put Mahomes in?
I think Mahomes he like Tom Brady to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't consider Tom Brady a game record. Like he don't wreck the
Back from
game.
25 points
He
down in the
just
Super Bowl.
consistent, man. He just like a consistent dude that's just gonna sit back there and pick you apart. But I don't consider that's not like when I think of Tom Brady, the first thing that comes to my mind ain't game record. I just don't. Again, one of the greatest of all time. I give him his
You gonna
same
have
thing
to
with
find
Mahomes. Might
game
be
record.
the greatest of all time. But when I think about both of those dudes, I don't say game record.
So you see Kansas City on the list to play, and the first thing you thinking is Kelsey.
I think the first thing that people think when they trying to take, if you can take Kelsey out of the, because again, you don't have to take Mahomes out of the game. You know what I'm saying? You could take Kelsey out of the game. You know what I'm saying? You could double team him, triple team him, whatever,
It
and
never
take him out of
works.
the. Again, whether it works or not is a different story. I'm just saying that's what they come in thinking. When the defensive coordinator come into the game, I think the first thing that they be saying when they writing the defense up on the whiteboard is, oh, we got to deal with Kelsey. We got to take him out of the game. Same thing with Myles Garrett. Oh, we're going to have to double and triple team him. Same thing with McCaffrey. We're going to have to take McCaffrey out of the game. We can't let him get that many touches. Same thing with Lamar. Oh, we're going to have to contain him in the backfield and all of that. We can't let him run around. Mahomes, I don't. Again, it's like, he going to be back there and give you what he going to give you, but I don't see people like, what can you do to really take him out of the game? It's not really like all of those other dudes. You can do things to take those guys
Yeah.
out of the game. What can you do to Mahomes to really take him out of the game?
Nothing. So that makes him one, right? Because it's nothing
Yeah.
you can do.
I
Again,
think
I just think they.
he's
I
the
think
most
they looked at the.
unstoppable on this list.
And
I
I
just
think
think that they looked at the list differently. I don't think they looked at it from the best. Like I said, I just think that they looked at it from a game. Like, at least what I get, like a game record type of thing.
I'm not putting
That's just my
putting
opinion.
Jackson up there.
So who would yours number one be? Like I said, my number one would be Mahomes.
All day.
My number one would probably be McCaffrey.
I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that.
Only because he can do so much.
I can't
Like
argue with
again, he can catch the ball. He can He played quarterback when they went out and they had to play Philly with no quarterback. Who was back there playing quarterback? McCaffrey. He could do it. Like it's other than offensive line, it's probably no position on the offense that he can't play. He could play probably tight end. He could play receiver. He could play quarterback. He can play running back. Like he can play all the positions. So it's like you can't really do. Like you never really know where he gonna be at. You know what I'm saying? You never know where and that's the beauty about Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan will line him up anyway. You know what I'm saying? He'll come out of the backfield doing wheel routes on a linebacker. You know, he too fast for a linebacker. You know, he too big for a safety. So again, he like one of those. I think I would put him number one on my list if I had to start a team, like start a team. I think I can get good quarterback play out of somebody else in the lay. Like again, if I'm doing fantasy, I get another a good quarterback to kind of go with him. But McCaffrey is one of those. If he healthy,
he's off the board.
It's nothing you can do with him.
Yeah, he's off the board at one in my fantasy.
Yeah,
first pick.
I mean, he reminds me of Marshall Faulk on The Greatest Show on Turf.
Yeah,
Marshall Faulk was killing everybody, wide receiver, running back. I saw him when he was in like the slot, killing people, running deep routes. So when I see McCaffrey, the only two he reminds me of Marshall Faulk with St. Louis, and reminds me of Reggie Bush back at USC when Reggie was everywhere.
Yeah.
So, man, I see how you can put him number one.
Yeah.
The only thing that's stopping McCaffrey is his own body. The dude, is going. He always has a hamstring problem or calf problem.
But if you got the ball 60% of the offense, you're gonna get nicked up as a running back.
Yeah,
gonna get nicked up. But when that dude Will is going and he's on.
Listen, San Francisco, before he got there, San Francisco was pretty much a nemesis. They were again. They had Debo, they had Ayuk, they had Kittles, they had Brock, when they traded for him, he changed the whole dynamic of that offense because you could do so much with him that he just changed everything. Like Kyle Shanahan probably looked at him and was like, "Uh-oh." Yeah. He was like the cheat code.
Yeah.
Like that's the ultimate cheat code. He was like, man, I can do so much with this dude. I know Shanahan was probably dreaming up plays in his sleep.
You know it. You know it. You
Yeah.
know it. That's for
Well, as a Commanders fan, I fear all 5 people on this list that I named. All 5 of them. Okay, because yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that one. But hey, my one of my favorite times every 4 years is now over. The Olympics is now over, man. And Phil, I know you know you're sad, man. Your breakdancing is no longer on, man. And your girl
Did y'all,
Reagan from Australia, she ain't gonna
did
be
y'all
dancing
see
no
that?
more.
Did y'all see that?
Man, that was awful,
He hit the
man.
bunny joint. I was done.
I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it will not return for the LA Olympics, which is kind of sad because she was bad. She was the last scoring. She was the lowest scoring person. The people who won, they were really good. They were really good. They were really good. Now I know there was some issues with the judging because a lot of the judges weren't really people from New York or LA who would really be able to judge it. So when they thought it was coming back to LA, they said, "Oh man, this is going to be like all the '80s B-boys time to help get in there and judge and coach." But then they announced because of apparently they have a funding issue. There's like 5 sports they're not bringing back, and that's one of them.
Thank God.
That ain't got nothing to do with funding because breakdancing is free.
Thank
It got
God.
nothing to do with funding. That shit was awful.
Well, they take up housing, they take up food, and you gotta pay. Remember, they pay the judges. The judges are paid, so they funding.
And
I watched a little bit of it. I watched a little bit of the Final Four. I thought they were amazing. Now, Reagan from Australia, she was probably the worst dancer I've ever seen, and she
hit the
defended it,
bunny
saying
joint.
that she's actually about to get like a sponsorship back in Australia.
Look,
She should. She listen for that lady to go on TV and for the people around the world to see that performance. She should get all the accolades she can get. She was a brave. That was brave to do what she did
look,
because
man.
she was fucking awful.
That whole thing was a train wreck. I don't
It
know
was
who
awful.
was sitting in that basement and they was probably off the ooh wee, and they was sitting there drinking a bottle of yak and had a little bit of ooh wee, and they say, "Look, man, I think we should do breaking, man. We should
Man,
put some break dancing in the Olympic, man. Whoever it was, man, kill yourself. Go out and plan traffic, fall on a
head
knife, whatever. Whoever
right.
did that."
Well, hey, I enjoyed it, but speaking of the Olympics, of course, like expected, the men's and women's basketball teams came out with the gold. They had a rough time. It came down to the wire, both for the men's game and the women's game. They just won by 1 point,
Yeah.
and it was good to see like a lot of these star players. This is LeBron's last Olympics, Katie, Curry's, a lot of their last, and the same with the women. There's like Taurasi, Griner, it's a lot of their last time playing. I just thought that it would have been a little bit easier for them to win these games. They actually were struggling, especially the men. Steph Curry finally got off the plane and showed up and played some good damn games because I forgot he was on the team. But Bro came on a semifinal game. I think he dropped over 30 points, and then he dropped 24 points in the championship game. It makes me a little weary to watch the USA basketball team win by so little, man. I know the competition is better. I get that. But I'm like watching like, oh my God, don't lose.
But
Don't lose.
it's hard to find your game amongst other superstars. I mean, it's a team. If you're Steph Curry and you're used to having the ball 60% of the time, 60% of the offense, but now you're on the floor with LeBron James, who's used to having the ball 70% of the time. You on the floor with Durant, who used to having the ball 80% of the time. You're going to lose something. But
Mm-hmm.
when they needed him, he was lights out.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out why LeBron got the MVP because Curry carried that team. He carried them.
Well, LeBron was the most consistent throughout the tournament. Curry kind of disappeared during the group stages. I was kind of like, I forgot he was there. KD was cooking in the beginning, then he kind of slowed down towards the end of the tournament. But LeBron was consistent. He wasn't who everybody was talking about because KD and Anthony Edwards were the most dynamic and explosive looking dudes. But you want to talk about a person who constantly got you the buckets you needed. They were quiet, ugly buckets, but LeBron did it.
Yeah.
And of course, he is the biggest sports star in the world. So, they had to play it up somehow.
Let's say that. But to call him the MVP of the Olympics, I don't agree with it. Because
Look,
the MVP,
man,
because Curry don't drop that 34, they're playing for bronze.
I know Michael Jordan sitting back, smoking his cigar with a yak in his hand and said, laughing his ass off because he like, man, look,
This Jocko.
it ain't never been this close for me. We ain't never had that. We was beating them by 30, 40 every game. So that's first. Secondly, I knew that when they played Serbia the game before the finals and they played Serbia, I knew that they would have a tough time with Serbia because that was their third time seeing Serbia. They played Serbia in an exhibition game and then they played them once in the first round or something like that. So this was the third time they was going to play them. So I knew that they was going to have a difficult time with them. I didn't think it was going to be as close as it was, but I knew they would have a difficult time with them because, again, it's hard to beat a team, especially they got a bunch of NBAs. It's hard to beat a team like that 3 times in less than 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. So I knew that. With respect to the finals and France, I'm going to say this. People better watch out for Wembanyama. He is the real deal. I watched him closely. I watched him a few times during the season with San Antonio, and I see highlights and stuff like that. But I actually sat down and watched him, in the Olympics. He's going to be a problem. If he get a little bit more weight on him, he is going to be a problem. I seen this dude do a crossover, step back 3 at 7-3, and it was all net.
Fluid.
He is going to be a problem in the NBA in a couple years. With San Antonio, put some players around him, and I think again with Castle and the team that they got, I think Popovich going to slowly put it together. But that team going to be just like those old San Antonio teams. They're going to be winning championships 2 and 3 years in a row soon. Watch.
Yeah, I agree. That dude is, I thought his size was going to be a factor. That dude is the truth. He's the truth. I would send him to bed with a steak on every night. Bulk him up a little. You know what I'm saying? To bulk him up a little bit. But, for what he is, for, the young boy, he got game. And he's going to, like you said, he's going to be a problem.
Well, I think these Olympic teams moving forward, they're gonna be starting to be more and more closer. Because if you look at this year, the top 8 of the first top 10 players was international players. You know what I'm saying? So these international players are in the NBA now, and they're gonna be getting that experience playing against NBA teams. So when they go to the Olympics, it's gonna be like, man, we play y'all every week, so we ain't scared of y'all. And that's another thing. International players, it used to be back when Jordan, they was scared of them, dude. When they came to the court, they had before they even tip off, they had already won the game. Yeah. These new international players, they like, man, we're not scared of y'all. Yeah, y'all just some other dudes to us. We play. Most of us play with y'all or against y'all in the NBA on a nightly basis. So it's just gonna be more and more. You see Serbia, and they only had 2 or 3 players on their team in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Watch a couple years from now, their whole starting 5 gonna be NBA players.
Yeah. And in 4 years, we're in trouble because now you don't have LeBron, you don't have Curry, you probably won't have KD. Who's gonna step up? Who do you like to lead this team against international competition?
The face of that team is going to be Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
That's going to be whether he can step up.
But can he?
Whether he can step up and be KD-ish, Jordan-ish, Steph Curry-ish, and drop 30 on him. Whether he can do that is another story. But he will be the face of that Olympic team come 28. I like his game.
I think he has the heart to do it. But can he? And in 4 years, we're going to find out because, like I said, he's going to be the face of that team.
Well, check it. This is 4th year in the league. And for him to play as well as he had in only his 4th year, the dude is on his way. I think he's going to be the best player in the league
Yeah.
in about 3 years. Him and Wembanyama are going to be going back
Oh,
and forth with each other.
I
Now,
love it.
they also released like what was supposed to be a mock 2028 Olympic Dream Team. They had some hitters on there. They had Mitchell. They had Paolo Banchero. Of course, they had Anthony Edwards. Somebody snuck Bronny James in there, which was kind of funny. Um, you know,
Oh, they got
you know,
jokes. They got jokes there on the internet.
and also remember, 4 years from now, they might not have Embiid because Embiid stated that he might be going trying to play for Cameroon due to the grandfather rule. So you may be losing him. And one thing that the NBA is short on these days, big men.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I still think the
You in
U.S. will be in
trouble.
good hands. I still think we'll be
You still-
winners. I still think we'll be winners because in the end, the most talent still comes from the U.S. Canada is slowly catching up. Canada's slowly getting there.
We just
But
we just barely squeaked past Serbia and France because of LeBron, KD, and Curry. I just don't see where that type of talent and skill comes from in this next generation. That's going to
Well,
replace that, and then you have to consider that the rest of the world is going to get better in the 4 years as well.
I
So
think a dude that's probably going to step up for them, and he didn't this year. And again, probably because he took a backseat to LeBron and KD and all. I think Jason Tatum got
Tatum,
that ability. I
yep.
think he has that ability to be that type of player. You pair him with Edwards and give him probably another good player or decent or superstar, they can be the next Curry, KD, LeBron type, big three type of thing. But I think Edwards and Tatum is definitely going to be part of that
oh
that that
yeah,
next regime.
yeah.
I just think he just didn't get no burn this year because they were so deep and
Hard to get some burn with that squad.
yeah, it's hard. It was hard
Hard
to
to get
get
some
burned.
burn
I
with
think,
that
and like
squad.
I said, I think Curry just played like because again, you can't tell me that Tatum not better than Dirk White. You can't tell me Tatum not better than Drew Holiday. You can't tell me that Tatum's not better than some of those other dudes. I don't think it was like he better or not better type thing. I just think it was a matchup thing. You know what
It's
I'm
a
saying?
matchup thing.
I just think that Drew Holiday and Dirk White because of their defense.
Defense,
Kerr
yeah,
trusted them defensive wise. Like he was trying to stop. He didn't really want to go bucket for bucket with a lot of these
yeah,
teams.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to. And another thing that maybe it's just me, but did it seem like to y'all that the USA team this year in particular seemed like more of an AAU type of thing?
Yeah, they didn't seem like they were running any plays. It
Just
seemed like it was a lot of ISO ball going on, which kind of worried because that's how they were losing leads. They would run ISO
yeah,
ball, and I was like,
yeah,
"Uh-oh,
yeah,
here we go."
yeah.
They're about to start losing the lead. And then I can't remember what game they were down by like 12 in one game, and I was said, "Yep, they're gonna lose." But then Steve Kerr kind of put the right matchup back in there. But I was you're right, Don. I was asking, damn, did they practice?
Yeah, it just seemed
Did
like I
they?
gave me an AAU vibe for some reason. I don't
Yeah,
know why this team. I mean, I know all the teams in the past had a bunch of superstars again, but the teams in the past just seemed more cohesive.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And it might be that ego thing when you come in like, yeah, we the cream of the crop. Not gonna practice this hard. And then some of these teams come out and they pop you in your mouth like, oh shit, maybe we should have practiced a little bit. But then like you said, talent is gonna shine. It's gonna show up. And them dudes when it was time time mattered, they showed up.
Wait, congrats to them, and we'll see how 2028 works. Phil, let's get your thought of the day, man. Let's see what's on your mind, brother.
Let me think, right. When are, when in the NFL are we going to just stop paying the players because they're the next man up? And this is it has to stop. I mean, why would you lock up your franchise to pay a quarterback because he's the next man up? I mean, in these teams, when I say they lock their whole team, they can't get no other good players. They can't sign linemen to protect the quarterback that they just played. You getting people off the practice squad to fill your roster because you can't pay anybody. At some point, one of these owners gonna have to say, you know what? Nah, I'm not paying you. I don't care who's the next man now. I'm going to pay the next man up that the best on my team, and then we're going to build around that, and we're going to constantly build. I get it. The quarterback is the most important position. Blah blah blah. But you have to at some point say you're not worth this $60 million.
I don't see it happening. I don't see it
No,
happening.
Yeah,
I don't
me either.
see. Yeah, I don't see him going back to those days again. You used to have that. That's what I say about that jury old school thing.
Yeah.
It's just a different league now, man. It's a different. If it's a different animal now, again, like I said, and that's why to me, you need these GMs and these owners need to get in a mindset of when this dude's contract is up, pay the dude. Whatever the market is at that point, pay him because it's going to be 2 or 3 people after that that's going to reset the market.
Even if he's not worth it,
Doesn't matter. You are what the market say you worth. If you can go out there right now, you're an IT dude. If you can go out there right now, you making $40,000, whatever, $50,000, and then you get somebody from Microsoft that say hey, I'm gonna pay you $100,000. You know damn well you ain't worth $100,000, but I don't see you being like, you know what? Nah, I ain't worth that. So
I'm
you
not
know
saying
what?
that the
I'm gonna stay
players
where I'm
shouldn't
at.
take it. I'm just saying, as an owner, I'm not going to pay you that because you're worth $50 million. I'm not going to pay you 100 because you're the next man up. That's my issue. You're
You know
worth
why?
50. Why
You
would I
know
give you
why?
100?
You know why they do? They know why they can do that. It's because they print money in their sleep. The
Hey,
NFL
I
prints
get
money
it.
in their sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What? It ain't too many jobs in the world that you can go to sleep at. You can go to sleep tonight, you worth 9.8 billion, and you wake up tomorrow morning, you worth 10.3 billion. It ain't too many. It ain't too many. Jobs like that. So as long as they printing money, you gonna get the Jerry Joneses of the world that's gonna want to be cheap and want to do it a different way and one think they can do it an old way. But you gonna have these new owners that keep. I'll give you a prime example. They didn't want that dude, the Haslam. They didn't want him to do that to Sean Deal, that
Yeah.
guaranteed money.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
owners was pissed at him when he did
Yeah.
that deal.
Yeah.
They did not want that. But it's always gonna be one person that's going to stay. You be saying to yourself, look, man, if we all stick together, we might have a shot. But it's always going to be one dude that blink. And when he blink, everything just get reset.
I'm not, if I'm an owner, I'm not doing, don't come to my team thinking because you're the next man up, you getting paid.
Well, hold on, Phil. I hate to use this as an example again. I don't want to get y'all blood pressure up with Dak Prescott. So I know you feel as though you wouldn't pay Dak Prescott $60 million or whatever, right? But think about it. Dak walks. Who do you have who's going to come in and give you that same production?
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush, brother.
Listen, and wait, stop laughing. Listen,
brother, we're gonna get you drug tested, man.
He high.
Yeah, we're gonna get you drug tested.
If you don't sign Dak, you keep Cooper Rush, get yourself a running back. You go get yourself the O-line. You can win in NFL with a marginal quarterback. You can. It's been proven. But you can't win with a quarterback that you're overpaying and you can't put nobody else around him. It's been proven. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. They had games where they scored 3 points, but the defense was stacked. The running game was stacked. You can win games with a marginal quarterback.
Yes, but that's not where your team is right now.
Quarterback, though. You can't win games with an overpaid quarterback, and you can't put other things around him.
I hear you.
Paying Dak is not going to get you over the hump that you're looking to get.
Okay.
So when he comes to my office asking for $60 million, I'm gonna be like, get the hell out my door.
You were 12-5 last year. Cooper Rush comes in. You think you're getting 12-5?
Yes.
Jerry Jones is thinking that. Stephen Jones is thinking that. So that's why they're saying, I probably have to pay this guy. That's why people are thinking about the next man up. Now, if there's a slew of free agents out there, then the next man up don't mean jack squat. But when you don't have an option, it's what it is. It's just like with your girl. She gonna take care of you a whole lot more because you the only one beating down her door. But if you got other dudes sliding in her DMs on Instagram, brother, you can walk. You can walk, my guy. So right now, Dak is dating a woman who ain't got no options.
Look,
that's what the Cowboys are. What are your other options? So that's why they have to pay the next man up.
The new model of the NFL is the model that Kansas City is basically did it with. Everybody's going to be trying to do it like Kansas City. You draft a quarterback, he's on his rookie deal, and within the first 4 years before you have to pay him, you try to put enough pieces around him that he can actually win.
So
And
we're
that's
saying
what they
the
did.
same thing. We're saying the
Once
same.
you pay that quarterback the first time, when he forget that first big deal and he become, 60% of your salary cap,
And
40,
you didn't lock
50% of
up
your
them other
salary cap,
players.
you pretty much done at that point. You know what I'm saying? You might as well reset and start all over and get another rookie dude and try to stack the team around him.
Or
Because
get you a
go ahead.
Cooper Rush, put the players around them, hand the ball off, solidify your offensive line, and listen, you ain't going
Man,
12. You might not go 12-5, but I'll take 10-7 with a playoff W.
man, this ain't the 80s,
Well,
man.
what?
Ain't nobody running the ball no more.
What you mean? The
Ain't
team,
nobody
the,
running the
te- the
ball
teams
30s.
that are
Look,
winning,
man.
running the ball.
This a league that is predicated. The whole reason the NFL exists now is to score points. That's all they want is scoring
Listen,
points. They done made it
that
so hard for the
that
defense.
shit works in the regular season. In the playoffs, you need somebody that you can hand that ball
Cooper
off.
Rush ain't gonna get you to the damn playoffs. You ain't gonna get to the playoffs. Nah,
If
man.
you put the players around
Nah,
them,
dude. Look, man, I'm a Cowboy fan with you, but you on the ooh wee right now.
okay,
I can't get with you on that.
so so
I
so
I'd rather you turn it over to
what's the
Trey
difference?
Lance before you turn it over to him.
So what's the difference? We get to the playoffs with that and lose in the first round.
I don't want that. I don't want Cooper Rush either. I've ever had Trey Lance.
I
Give
don't
it to
Cooper
him.
But
Rush
but
either.
Dak is the next man up, just like a lot of these teams. They're the next man up. Why do you think all these other quarterbacks got paid obscene amounts of bread this offseason? There ain't no options out here. The free agent market ain't flush.
Because
Who
if
you
you
gonna
look
go
at it,
get? Case Keenum?
There's nobody there's nobody coming up that you can groom. I'm not saying you're gonna win next year.
Yeah,
I'm
go
just
get Sam Howell. Go get Sam Howell.
why not? And then you build your offensive line because you ain't paying Sam Howell. My thing is, if you don't pay this quarterback and you put everything else in place, you don't have to get a superstar quarterback next year or in
Look,
the 2 years. You don't. You can get a marginal quarter, just somebody that's not going to turn the ball over, and you can win games.
but the market, like Dante is saying, the market is paying this. You want to pay here. So if you have one good year, that quarterback or wide receiver, whoever, is now going to be like, I need to be at least get to the middle. They're
With
always
that,
going to ask for more. They're not going to be
exactly.
happy with their 5-year, $50 million contract. They're going to
I'll
want
give that
more.
45. I give him 45.
I mean, you can't give him 45. I mean, you got to get him again. His salary cap number is like 52 this year, so he ain't starting nowhere near that. If you can't start at least 52, like that's the bottom of the floor with him. That's what his cap number is this year. So again, and again, he got all the leverage because he looking around saying, "Wait a minute, hold up.
He
Tua
only
just
got
got how much?
he only
I
got
know I
leverage
done did more than Tua. Again, I know for a fact I'm done did more than Tua in this league. Again, I might be
because he
12 and
can beat
5.
them teams.
I'm just listen. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I'm beating bums. If you looking at you looking at the surface. All they look at is he's 12 and 5 every year. He's leading the league in touchdowns or whatever every year. He throwing for 4 or 5,000 yards. Tua didn't do nearly as much as him. And they gave Tua 200 something million. So Dak's sitting there like, wait a minute. If he can get 200 something million, you think I can't get what Tua get?
I'm okay with that getting 200 million, just not with the Cowboys.
So what he's saying is the market is good as long as it ain't the Cowboys to
Just
do
don't
that. He
listen.
just don't want again. You go get your money in there and
Don't
get with market value with anybody else. You just
don't
can't get it
lock
from us.
don't lock up with your franchise when you know this dude is not going to get you nowhere else but
They
what you.
Hey,
have, if the team has no other choice, I'm sorry, Dak or Tua is the next man up. They
listen,
have to pay him. Trey Lance, what's the plumber you
Please don't
just
say
named? Uh,
Cooper Rush.
uh,
Cooper Rush.
Cooper, come on. Cooper Rush ain't getting you
Cooper Rush
nowhere.
held his own when he came in the game. I'm listen. I'm not
Cause
saying we
I
can
ain't
win
game plan for him. That's
we
I,
why he only had like a 5-game sample. Once people get you on
who
tape
gonna
and
go
they know what you could do,
He played
come on,
college.
man.
He played
I
he,
could
we're
look at
getting you drug tested,
Cooper
man.
Rush.
you ain't
Listen,
got to get drunk. All I'm
I'm
saying
a,
is
I'm I'm gonna tell you what Phil problem is. He he kind of like me. I feel him what he talking about. He been abused all life. You know what I'm saying? He been abused all his life, and he's scared to move on. But he know he gotta move on. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way. Cause if he don't move on, he gonna die.
I'm better. Okay.
He got bad at
Help
Cowboy
this
syndrome.
relationship.
Phil got bad at Cowboy
He,
syndrome. That ain't good, man.
he got BCS.
That's where we're gonna leave it at, for the night. It's a good chat, man. Like I said, I didn't mean to get y'all blood pressure up.
Joint.
But
Listen,
hey,
man, from now on, any Cowboy things, we gotta move them to the end of the set. Can't
Yeah.
have them in the
'Cause we be
beginning.
losing focus, and then we keep wanting to go back to the Cowboys. Okay.
folks, I appreciate it. On to the next episode. And
Yeah.
I know you asked me a question about the Commanders, but I don't feel like answering. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. I'm going to see y'all later.